coming from OC, and Modem's won them the round. That is it. There's no way Jax brings this back. He's just going to lurk within the smoke, hear the footsteps, and pray he can find someone. That's a nice shot at least, but I don't even think he has time to retrieve the bomb and get it down. And OC, very well placed, takes a couple of shots, but he'll be there to get them their 12th.
So 12-12, like I said. No, ATK playing phenomenal, honestly. I can't really knock them much at all. I mean, you kind of have to hope to ride off Vertigo, or maybe they need to look ahead in the future and be like, all right, that's a map we should start banning, because they did not look good at all in that.
They chose it.
And yeah, but it wasn't even like strategy, like we said before, that like won the map for G2. It was just pure raw aim and pure confidence. And that confidence has completely disappeared on the side of G2. I mean, Nexa had a couple of kills in that round with a nice 2 Deegs. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to overpower Modem, sitting in pit. Now they have only Glocks. We're looking at ATK getting on to 13 here. And being 3 rounds away from advancing further than G2. I mean, that's like quite a name they can add to their CV. We beat North 2-0. We beat G2 2-1 after being down so drastically. They're starting to really build up a name for themselves coming into Season 11. And still, obviously, into the rest of this whole tournament.
On the other side of things as well, it's currently 1-1 in maps for Renegades and Mouse Sports. And Renegades are 4-1 up on Inferno, so you never know. We could have a match between ATK and Renegades to see who actually gets through to the playoffs.
Wow.
Which, either side, that would be such a big win if they can take it. Nonetheless, still a long way to go. These last 4 rounds, they're not going to be handed on a plate. G2 are not going to want to go out at this stage of the tournament. Peek in from Floppy. Gets the information at least and does take one down with him. Of course, this is just a Glock round, so you can't really expect too much from G2. ATK should take this one fair.
28. You had Sonic at 47 and 20 in the actual group stage. First group stage. They had enough money to buy him, so I'm not sure why they didn't drop him. Like they have. Oh my, how does that happen? How do they just walk out? There was no flashbang. They just pushed and got 2 kills without...
Floppy now falls. They could opt to switch things back and try and wrap around, but they're going to continue their way into this A site. OC within, and they get another entry. It's only left to Modem. He has been phenomenal over the last few rounds, holding in the pit. Just opting to stay alive, and he picks out the right time. He even buys a moment for JT to peek back in, and Jax, he's got so many players to target that the round's going to end, and it's Modem to be the hero once again. 2 kills to his name, and 14 on the board for ATK now. G2 are just 2 rounds from being eliminated and joining North.
They've won 14 out of the last 15 rounds. Is that correct? No? Around there?
No, I think they were, what, so it was
14 out of the last
3-0,
like 16?
and then they won 10 in a row.
Okay. So 14 out of the last 16.
I don't know.
Let's just go. Let's just say yes. Let's just say yes. For the sake of the argument here, just really a landslide performance out of ATK. They got Modem now on 17 kills. Everyone over double digits. They have full kit of utility. OC even feeling confident trying to go for the pick in towards middle. They're winning a lot of these battles they really shouldn't be. Like, again, just looking back to last round, they pushed out B. Next is going to be dropped by Sonic. Sonic gets himself a double on the Amanek. He just doesn't care. He's just pushing up for kill after kill. In ATK, they might just have enough here to finish the series.
Oh, at this point, I think they should. This is just dominant. G2, well, they're the ones looking like the underdog at this point of the match. I don't know where the G2 from the first match has gone, but either way, a monster in the form of ATK has risen in its place. Sure, G2 definitely don't seem like they're performing anywhere near as well, but you've got to give credit over to ATK. They have taken these battles. They have beaten their opposition. It's not just like G2 are letting them into this match. They've been taking it. Well, especially if you look over the last few rounds, especially, they've been grinding Banana. They've been winning the duels versus top-tier players. They now, well, after having the mental fortitude to fight back like they did on Train on the T side after being 10-5 down, to go into this map and absolutely dominate, it looks like the series has just flipped.
I've never, I think, in my career of commentating, have wanted to see player shots more than I do right now. To see how hyped up ATK is getting round after round. I see Modem, he stops moving after the round's done because I guarantee he's shouting, he's fist bumping his teammates. They're about to do it. They're about to move further on to the tournament to add G2 to their hit list. North is currently the other team on. And potentially to have the Revenge vs. Mouse or maybe Renegades, depending on how that series goes. It's into now potentially the final round here. JT, look how aggressive he's getting. Pushing down to the bottom of Banana. G2 have no room to move. They have no real weapons to use either. Hunter's down to 10 HP. It looks like they're going to try to push in towards his A side here, Tom.
The previous Pro League finalists with one last attempt to even make it close to the playoffs. Missed shot from OC might give them that little bit of extra space they need, but it's not going to happen again. He hits that second shot. Amanek manages one, but it's a slaughter. And there it is. ATK have eliminated G2 after being so far behind. They got dominated on the first map. They lost the first half of the second map in a dominant fashion as well. It was looking like this was going to be G2 series. But they fought back. They grind.
You guys think that the claws that hurt you back, falling down you Mousesports is going to run away with this.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, this could be a 2-0. This could be all 3 maps, but either way, I'm guaranteeing you 2. Mousesports taking on the Renegades right here, right now, for a best-of-3 elimination in the lower B bracket. We're going to go ahead and kick this one off right here with Harry and Hugo. Take it away, fellas.
Right on, Trace. Yes, first best of 3 of the day, and we are covering all these juicy, spicy matchups, Harry. The elimination versus playoff situation here for Mousesports and Renegades, and only one team can make it through. Will it be the Aussies, or will it be the European mix? Betway certainly seem to think so, and it's a fast A play to kick off the pistol.
Yeah, Renegade's going to go barreling into this site, but Chris J and Woxic are able to keep things in favor of the Mousesports side. And Renegades, they actually dip out of A. They're going to go down the vent and try and change this plan up. That bomb goes down. Dick Stacy holding on to Secret. Will beat Woxic there in the head-to-head, but Rops has removed Malta back in the bomb site. In the meantime, Dick Stacy, gotta deal with another man, and now down to the 2v2, closes the double doors. This bomb is planted for Dexter. Dick Stacy beat down by Chris. And well, he's beaten the Dick, but can he deal with Dexter? Chris J, he's gonna get all of them. Gets both players at the very end. Triple kill, the hat trick there for Chris J. Defuse comes in. And it's a close pistol round with Mousesports narrowly closing it out.
Yeah, you got to give it to Renegades on that split-second decision to drop down the vents and at least get the bomb plant, which can facilitate a force by coming forward. But, man, you would have had your money on Dexter there with that P250. We saw what he could do up against Astralis in that T-side pistol and Inferno. It was replayed, but he managed to ace them, at least in the first time around. And a couple of nice shots from him there, but it's ultimately Chris with 3, and he will find that pistol. There's the force, by the way, expect ready at this point. Renegades, as said on the desk, don't want to go down to this early CT side and let Mousesports run away with the money and the lead. So they're going to try and put a stop to it. A couple of Galils, couple of pistols, and a door play for Renegades, rather. Once again, maybe hoping to get down this vent. They will find Karrigan on top of the hut, though, and that's going to tempt them into this A site.
But Chris J and Frozen have both been rewarded with kills here over on that Mousesports side. So that man advantage that Renegades had for about a second has already been taken away. And there's no getting past Chris J today as Frozen now comes in on this lurk from behind. Dick Stacy now the only man left here for Renegades, and Rops is going to find him trying to get up into heaven. Mousesports, they're going to get off to this 2-0 start. They put a stop to that force by there from the Renegades. Now, Mouse, there's... It's a team right that I feel like has all this potential, has all the right pieces of the puzzle, and yet still they're not quite getting the results that they want, right? I think that's pretty clear. We saw some frustrated tweets from this team yesterday. I think it was Reg, and the coach of this team, asking why they always seem to get games so close and then they can never get them across the line. That has been the reoccurring problem here for this Mouse side. Now, case for both of these organizations, but not really for the teams in their current form. They were both here in the playoffs last time around. Now, for Renegades, completely different team, right, since joining this organization. But for Mouse, we got a few of the same players here in Rops and Chris J. And you bet they want to have that chance to be back in front of the Danish crowd. I cannot say I blame them. That crowd is phenomenal. This round here, though, Hugo, it's just the Deagles for Renegades. Inns was able to find the opener towards outside. And now they're going to turn their attention over here towards ramp. Rops is playing this position. Oh, he's going to get Deeg down as well. These rounds can get out of hand in a 5-on-3. Finally, Chris J is going to deal with one, but still the man advantage residing with Renegades and a chance to do something in a round that they haven't got much investment in.
Oh, that's a big kill from Frozen, taking control of the lobby here for Mousesports and Renegades. Well, they had this lead. Well, they had the advantage. It's all getting swept away. It's only one man left up. Csgo in a 1-on-3. These Deegs have so far brought Renegades a couple of kills in this round, but the jump timing is so unfortunate, and he's going to get pushed from the back line as well. Chris sealing the deal here in the third round for Mousesports, and those pistols, well, they find a couple of nice entries here for the Renegades side. It will ultimately lead to nothing. That buy can come through now in the fourth round for those Aussies. Get the guns in. They won't have the Orb just yet. Woxic is going to be running his. Very keen to get that in the garage to start off the CT side. And Mousesports looking to run forward with the momentum they've taken off the back of that pistol. I mean, like Chad said on the desk, this can be very, very hard. First game of the day, just warmed up. Renegades, T-side nuke, not an easy half by any means, and they're going to be really put to the test on their map pick here. Malta trying to cross down towards B, the AWP, just missing those shots, but there's a gap, and Woxic, if they don't jump over it, they could lose their life, but luckily enough, getting down with 4 players towards that lower site. Effective cross for Renegades, but they're walking into Frozen and Chris J, who have already rotated down.
Yeah, they've already doubled up over here on this staircase. Frozen's going to go ahead and get himself into the vents. He can run this crossfire with Chris J, and he can still come up and support that A bomb site if Woxic sees any of these players crossing back. Woxic, he might get rewarded for his patience here. As Renegades look like they want to head back towards outside. That smoke's been thrown in over towards Mini. Missed shot from Woxic, uncharacteristically so. And now Renegades trying to close this gap, trying to get close to the AWP. But Woxic very fast indeed. That little jump leaves him in the firing line of Malta. So the trade will finally be found. And Malta doubling down now towards outside. Frozen's responded. He has come up through those vents. We were waiting for it. And he's reclaimed the lead here for Mouse Sports in this round.
Oh, and Chris is going to use Malta smoke against him. This is a fantastic play from Chris, gaining more control outside. And with 20 seconds, Renegades have to cross that bomb towards A. It's going to get denied. Dropped in the dirt with Dick Stacy. It's Malta now alone, and he has to pick up a 1v3. No time left and no health either as Chris finds yet another frag. And that is a fantastic start for Mouse Sports and Chris J, who is 10-0 right now, Harry. This man is not dying. He is only putting kills on the scoreboard, and Renegades are yet to even grace that. They're going to be left down to their wits and about $3,000 a player here as they have to take another eco and give away more rounds to Mouse Sports. Never a good feeling here on the T side of Nuke, but that's just how it turns out sometimes, Harry. It's not always an easy game. Mouse Sports wanting those playoffs more than anyone, wanting to head back to the crowd and as you say. Got those grenades here for Renegades, but that's about it. Couple of pistols here and there. Rops waiting on the ramp. Almost the missed timing. Could have been unfortunate, but Dexter's not going to be able to get ahead of the smoke. However, he can go through it. They're just waiting for that to fade for the right time to strike, and once it does, Rops, you've got to hope he doesn't pull out a grenade in the wrong time. Luckily, he doesn't have any left, nor health, as Dexter doubles with the Deeg down on ramp. Renegades, they've opened up a route towards B. We've seen rounds like this before where they find these opening kills with the Deagles, but are they going to fall apart?
Well, Carrigan. There we go. Oh, not able to deal with Dexter, rather. And trade will come in. Woxic is left in the clutch, though, up against these Deagles. This is not an impossible round for Renegades. In fact, it's feeling likely. And Woxic there, just quick switching a little too soon. If he'd thrown that Molotov in earlier, maybe it would have forced the fight out from the man planting the bomb. And that's just, that's a little bit heartbreaking, but not the end of the world for Mouse. They give up one round. These Deagles over on the Renegade side have been looking good to kickstart this map.
Well, it's just the ramp room, right? Just finding these headshots, taking down Rops nice and early, and we're definitely going to need to see some adjustments from Mouse Sports over towards the ramp side of things if they're going to continue now that we've got guns out. Whether that be double stacking or just falling off once you spot contact, which is a far more common way of playing that ramp position and just rotating into B, we'll have to see. It's going to depend on Renegade's outside control as well. And these crosses down through the smokes, but Csgo taking a fight and taking down Woxic to start off this round. That's exactly what Renegades needed to get himself on this T side.
Oh, and they're also going to get a player down the vents. That's some big news for Renegades. Malta slipping into the back line. Rops is ready and waiting for it, though. And for Mouse Sports, that right there, that kill is massive, because not only has it given you a 4-on-4 back over on the Mouse side, it's also now meant that you've dealt with that 1B lurk. And we know how strong it can be when you get a player down in those vents, just because, over on the CT side, it forces you to have to bear that late play from the B site player in mind throughout. And now Mouse Sports re-aggressing into the lobby. Sure, Frozen offers himself up, but this is where Chris J can keep things in favor of Mouse. He'll activate, deals with ins, but that Molotov is going to force him into the prying eyes of this AWP and Dick Stacy, and he'll get picked up as a result. Rops has now arrived from B, deals with Dexter at ramp, and this is going to force Renegade's hand into this A side of the map. They'll get the bomb down, and now it's only Rops left to try and clutch this one out for Mouse Sports.
The heavens being covered, that AWP is double scoped in, and Rops is going to have to dodge it. He can't, predicts the wrong angle, and Sicko finds his arm just sticking around the corner. It's Renegades getting on the board. We saw that nice adjustment over towards ramp, at least from Mouse Sports that we were hoping for. Rops down on that B site, able to get two coming back up into the ramp room, but ultimately not going to be able to clutch it. That point of rotation getting a bit predictable, as it can often be as the ramp player, right? When you lose A, T's are always going to expect either the lobby flank or the heaven position. Those are the two most common go-tos as a ramp player, and that doesn't really leave you with many options in the clutch. Mouse Sports now on pistols. They've got to take a breather and give Renegades a route back into this game. Really no investment in this round, so shouldn't expect too many kills. It's not even quite the deegs that Renegades showed us in some of these T-side rounds. Karrigan looking to force a fight, and Sicko's waiting in the back of the lobby on this default. Renegades just holding down long angles, and they're going to get fed kills here. Chris and Frozen moving through, and both of them picked apart as well. Just Rops left up with this deeg. Can he do what the rest of Renegades have been doing so well themselves?
Yeah, I mean, even if he's able to replicate some of it, a 1v5 is just not happening, is it? So Renegades, they will continue moving forward. They'll get themselves that third round. Most importantly, they keep it flawless. This AWP over in the hands of Sicko has been doing good damage since it's come on in, and now we're going to see Woxic donning his over on the Mouse Sports side. I'm hoping that we can have this head-to-head, but the interesting thing is right now, Sicko hasn't shown too much of a tendency towards outside. They've instead been throwing him into these main peaks. And this round here is just a fast A play from Renegades. They try and switch up the pace. They try and catch Mouse Sports off guard. It's almost worked. It gets him that first kill. But Karrigan's done a very good job of buying some time for these rotations, these Heaven players, to get into position now. Two players here for Mouse Sports. Chris J, by the way, number one on the minimap. He's got on a very, very lengthy flank all the way through yard, and Sicko is not ready for it. That could be the defining moment for Mouse Sports in this round. You deal with the AWP, you deal with the man holding for that ramp aggression. And that might have opened up a way for Mouse Sports to get back into this now with this bomb planted. Renegades, very limited time to set up these post plants. They're going to run a hut and sight crossfire between Dick Stacy and Inns.
But they're still so scared of the heaven position. That's why Mouse Sports had two players earlier with the molly coming down from Dick Stacy, and now they're grouping up to trade effectively. Woxic with that opening kill, and Dick Stacy can only get a trade before he himself is dropped as well. Mouse Sports pushing in through main as a unit and finding that retake. I like that adjustment from Mouse Sports, right? Not just overcommitting to the heaven position. It can be tempting, but we've already seen from, Sicko holding down the line with the AWP, and we know what these Kriegs are like with their scopes as well. Very hard angle to get out of as a CT, but instead, main, bigger choke point, more players, and perfectly easy to trade out for Mouse Sports in that 3-on-2. Able to find a round right after Renegades get their 3 on the board. Not quite broken just yet, as they kept a lot of players alive in their anti-ecos, but Mouse Sports are looking to grind away at that economy. Woxic once again on the AWP. Sicko's going to be meeting him as well, hoping we're having this head-to-head once more. He's going to be holding yard. Sicko, in the meantime, looking at main, and luckily enough, Chris J not tempted into going for that aggressive peak. That would have spelled his demise. Dex is going to be the only man tagged up to start off this round here. And Mouse Sports just holding down the line, not peeking into the lobby. It can be so tempting as a CT to want to take that fight through the door once it's blown up, or instead just waiting for Renegades to make the first move, to make the first contact, and to commit to pushing through a choke point.
Yeah, Renegade's now going to be lining up these outside smokes to try and come in for this outer play late. Now, important to note, Woxic is currently back in CT. He's holding for this cross at red box. We don't have a player nearby who could look to throw that Molotov out that does deny these outside smokes. That's also why Renegades have waited till later on in this round to throw these in. They hold this default early because it has become so common to throw that Molotov down to disrupt this smoke wall from the T side. Now, this waiting around is still going to leave pressure on Renegades. Well, it's allowed this wall of smokes to go down. It's only left them with 30 seconds on the clock. That Molotov there would have made all the difference because it would have forced Frozen out of position. Renegades, 20 seconds. They're going to try and go towards ramp room. They're going to try and hit this B bomb site. Rops, he'll have to handle this one, and he does. Oh no, the bomb's dropped back up on top of the ramp, and Dick Stacy, it's heartbreaking. He knows he doesn't have time anymore. It's just how much damage can he do? And right now, while he is wreaking havoc, he's not ready for Chris J. That right there is a round for Mouse Sports. They're able to keep that one under lock and key.
That's so unfortunate for Renegades. You could see that was not their game plan. They wanted to go through that door, but Mouse Sports do such a good job of holding on to utility till the end of the round. That smoke coming down right at the 30-second mark, and Renegades realize if we want to actually have a chance, we've got to bail down towards B. We've got to take ramp control, and finally Mouse Sports are able to put up a pretty stellar defense on that position as well. The AWP dropping the bomb, and we know what that ragdoll is like for the bomb. It's so annoying, Harry, as it goes flying back up topside for Mouse Sports in their vision. And Renegades, here it is, the final buy before they'll be put to pistols if they don't at least get a bomb plant here. We don't even have that ult for Csgo. Things are starting to run dry for the Renegades. Carrigan get mollied. Oh, just escapes. Doesn't get spammed through that smoke either. He wants to stay by the door so he can make sure no one's dropped down towards B. And Rops has found first blood. Spraying the smoke, taking down Dexter inside of the lobby. And the man advantage going the way of Mouse Sports.
Yeah, no, that was a bit of a weird one. Dexter tries to go through that ramp smoke, and that just gives Rops the opener. You know, you can't really blame Dexter. You look at how Mouse have been approaching ramp, and it has been very passive. They've been hiding. They've been waiting. They've been giving up that initial bit of ramp control. Renegades, in response to this, they try and get down through secret. They'll get a kill there. Malta's snuck out beneath Chris J, and it's all a matter of who looks first. Malta, oh no, he doesn't know. Chris J doesn't know he's here, and there's Malta rewarded. Finally, he catches Chris J up on the rafters. That was a fight that could have gone anyone's way. Rops can deny this bomb plant now, but he's just missed the timing. The plants come in, and Malta with a double. Now, just one man left to beat. It's Woxic on the other side, and while he has gotten down into the bomb site, he throws that smoke on the bomb. Malta spraying back in. Woxic, no scope misses, and Malta's gonna make that 1v3 happen. He gets it done all on his own. Stellar stuff there from that man as he's topping the charts right now over on the Renegade side.
Man, what a sick play from Malta. It's so hard to get out through that hot position, and even with Chris J missing the timing, you would think there's typically going to be a top hot player, someone in heaven, a rotate through mini that will spot you, but Malta, he finds the perfect gap in the Mouse Sports defense there, with them only having one top site player, and boy oh boy, is that going to work out for Renegades. It's broken Mouse Sports right back, and right when Renegades are on the tipping point, they're going to be the one favored. Dick Stacy saving Sicko's life here outside as Chris J spams with the deagle. Tag with the scout. And remember, we have low investments here from Mouse Sports, but that scout could be so effective at really pulling down the health of Renegades, making these pistols, making these SMGs more effective. That being said, it's a 5-on-3 for Renegades. They can commit towards a site if they do so, please. And Dick Stacy is going to be entering up into that A site. Fast play from him. The bomb trying to cross as well to get inside, and Malta's going to take down Woxic, caught away in the yard. It's looking like a done deal here for Mouse Sports. No way to get back into this one. They have a kit on Frozen at least, but right now the possibility of a retake is slipping out of the window.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance for Mouse in this round now, and they know it, right? Even with that scout finding a few players, bringing them down, it's just not going to be enough. And Renegades, they will be onto a fifth. You know, you look at this already, you look at this scoreline, and this is already good for the boys over here on their T half, right? 5 rounds. You've kind of already hit the bare minimum that you were looking for. There's already a lot more room left to play around with in this half. Now, as they go hunting, they will actually fall for these players that we're trying to save, so that is going to give some weaponry over to the side of Mouse. It's not really the end of the world, though. They went for the force buy in that round there. So this, these scavenged weapons, these 2 rifles that they were able to hold on to, that is all they've got looking to round number 12. And this could be Renegades tying things up. If this 1 AK and 1 FAMAS don't go huge, the odds are this is going to be a 6-6.
Yeah, and that's not something you can really bank on here if you're Mouse Sports, especially when your key players have been Chris really and Woxic with that AWP finding picks outside. So now without either of those players armed, I like how Chris has bought armor here. He's only on a USP, but I imagine he'll be playing nearby someone with a rifle, and if they go down, he can do his best to try and secure that weapon. Ramp will be the right call, though, for Renegades. This time it's only Karrigan here, and he's got nothing but a P250, trying to find headshots instead. Just playing that drop position. The adjustment from Mouse Sports is smart, and Rops is going to get a kill. An advantage here for the CT side as they give away a portion of the map, but they do secure that lower site. And if you look at the mini-map over in the top left, Mouse Sports have moved heavy numbers towards the bottom of B. Sicko's going to double back through the lobby, and the timing is unfortunate for Woxic as he looks into his position.
Are they going to check this little position down beneath Dick Stacy? This safe little plant spot that Karrigan is hidden in right now is still gone unaccounted for. Dick Stacy surely is going to see him. Surely.
Oh, no.
Chance for Mouse in this round. Frozen dealt so low earlier on in the round. He's just sticking the bomb plant. That is ballsy. And there's the repeat from Chris J. He's not going to let Dick Stacy get away with that.
I think Dick Stacy's trying to like mega read Chris, right? Like expecting he's rotated round to the doors or the window that's already broken. There was a gun dropped out for Chris as well in decon he could have grabbed, and he just commits to the USP, knows he's dinged, knows someone's called that he's low, and commits to it.
There were a lot of weapons over towards the double doors, right? Frozen had died there. You had players go down over towards window. So you understand why Dick Stacy considers there could have been that wrap round. I think for, Dick Stacy in that situation there, that's really all he could have done, right?
Yeah,
Is try and get the bomb planted, try and outbrain Chris J.
Easier said than done, though. I mean, so many players would fake that there. I guess that's just the thought. Who would stick a bomb plant? Nope. Who knows? Karrigan is going to open up this round. Dexter's going down. Renegades again tempted by this ramp room. They have no utility. This is going to be a go-to. As a result, Chris is waiting on the other side. He gets one. Rops also dropping down B, and Woxic waiting to cover for him. It's going to actually give up a lot of room, a lot of position here as Rops attempts to re-aggress. Sicko may have just caught the timing to get right past his headshot angle, and Rops turning back gets away with a kill. Still with a chance to drop down towards B before Renegades find that trade, and he is just stalling out his life for as long as he possibly can. Second one for Rops as well, and it's all Dick Stacy alone. Karrigan's covered from the door, and that is a pitch-perfect round for Mouse Sports. 1 by 1, Renegades go sneaking into their death, and this CT side continuing to put up numbers.
Yeah, this is good for Mouse, right? Because early on, it did kind of feel like it was a real solo effort from Chris J that was keeping these rounds so competitive. The rest of the gang, well, they were kind of all down around the 5 kill mark while Chris J had already reached double digits. Now, finally, that we've got someone else stepping up alongside Chris in the form of Rops, really one of the 2 players that I would be looking towards to join Chris J up at the top of the scoreboard. And the fact that he's over towards Ramp Room, an area that Renegades were finding a lot of success in earlier on in this game, I think that's going to bode well for Mouse. It's all feeling like it's starting to fall into place a bit more now for this CT side. Even in that round there, they get those crossfires set up inside of the B site so quickly. It didn't feel like 5 individuals. You could tell that they were setting up as a team, and that's what we need to see from Mouse Sports. Now 9-5 up in the half, a chance to 10-5. And when you consider that heading into that 12th round, Renegades were only up against those 2 saved rifles, that was their chance to equalize out 6-6. Yeah. It has been a very good recovery from Mouse Sports, and it could get even better. If they 10-5 this half, they're going to feel very happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a key swing round that has really put them in pole position to take a dominant victory in the first half of this map. Now, 5 rounds is still good. It's still fine, but Renegades want more. Trying to force it out outside Chris. First time we've hand double down into A, knowing their back is compromised. They are walking into a very stacked bomb site. Karrigan hidden. Oh, the check for ins, and he finds the Reeves going to cover main as well. That will allow a bomb to get planted for Renegades, and this is surely a retake. Too much to ask for Mouse Sports.
It's Woxic and Rops left standing in the server here over on the Mousesports side. These two are not shy on their brilliant moments. Woxic opening this round up, getting it a little bit closer now. Rops going barreling in, and he's going to best ins there in the head-to-head. Dexter and Dick Stacy, the double Ds at Renegades have to come up huge. Woxic trying to close the gap, but he's running out of time, and there's just no time left. Dick Stacy will cement that 6th round for Renegades at the very end of this first half. This game looking like it's going to be a close one already. It's just 3 rounds separate these two teams now heading in to this second half. Join us after the break to see exactly how this first map pans on out.
To a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know. 'Cause lately, feeling to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so alone. I need you more than you know, 'cause baby you feel like home. Take me to a place I know, somewhere I can feel my soul. Lately I'm skin and bone, so hollow. I've never felt so.
Mousesports in the lead at the end of the first half. Their CT side of Nuke looks stellar, but Renegades certainly get an apt amount of rounds to set themselves up for success. The pistol could be that next step. But if you want to make the next step in your Counter-Strike career, you can head on over to ESEA. It's actually free to play all your placement matches over the course of the ESL Pro League Finals here in Odense this week. So you want to know how good you are, you want to know where you place on the rankings, head over to ESEA.
Yeah, feel free to let us know what rank you get put in as. I think on ESCA, I am like a rank, maybe a low rank B player or something, or maybe a high rank C. I don't want to flex too hard, but yeah, I'm pretty dog at ESCA. I don't know what it is. Everyone I seem to play against there is incredible, and I guess that's why. That's where the best, that's where the brightest head on down, and you could be one of them, even if you're not the best, even if you're not the brightest.
And you're probably not the best or the brightest. The best or the brightest are the ones on our screens, Harry, right now.
You're really just going to call them out like that? The folks watching at home?
Are they here? Are they playing, Mousesports Renegades? No.
You never know, though, right? You never know, Hugo.
Sometimes you just got to put in the grind, Harry. Put in those hours before you get up on the big stage. And, well, that's exactly what these two teams are fighting for. If you have missed everything, I don't know where you've been, but you've been in the wrong place and at the right time as well, as we are fighting for playoffs right now. Mousesports versus Renegades. Neither of these teams want to be eliminated here on day 3 of the Pro League Finals, but tough. Someone has to go home.
That's the thing, man. I fully understand it. I get why maybe you've been a little bit slacking in terms of the hours you've been investing into the Pro League. There's a lot going on at the minute, right? Shattered Web missions are out. Halo Reach is out. Yeah. There's a lot of things you can be doing, but this is what you should do if you find yourself wanting to commit to one of those things and not quite having the time to tune in as much as you would like. Keep the stream open and we'll do our best to guide you through with just our voices alone. Or if you are balling and you've got a second monitor, then you're sorted. If you've got 3 monitors, maybe that's one step too far. You don't need to flex that hard.
We've just had some in-ear changes for the side of Mousesports, I think, and we'll be jumping right back in now with the pistol round this second half. Renegades moving over to the CT side, 6 rounds to their name. That pistol with conversions could put them up on level, pegging up against Mousesports, but we'll have to see if it's going to be that easy, and I really don't think it will be. Mousesports with lots of utility for this pistol. We got that grenade for the door. We might just see a main smoke and a fast inner play. Let's find out.
Yeah, Mousesports picking up the pace, not wasting any time on the back of that tech pause. Now they rush into this A site, and Int had a chance, but it's been taken away from him. Csgo only good for 1 up in heaven, and the bomb plant found now for this Mouse side. Dick Stacy's even been spotted going aggressive in through the ramp room. Rops looking to try and deal with him. Carrigan, in the meantime, has helped out massively, dealing with one of these players over in the A site, but Malta and Dick Stacy have pulled this back down into the doable realm of a 2v2, now a 1v1 as the trades go back and forth. It's Chris J versus Dick Stacy, and Chris J comes in clutch once again. I think that's the third time now we've seen these two players have to clutch it out head-to-head, and it's the third time that Chris J has bested him.
I mean, that's his third default pistol clutch, Harry. If you think back to not only the initial pistol round with that retake down on B where he won Tapstick Stacey, but or Dexter rather, but even that eco round where we had two rifles for Mousesports and Chris stuck with the USP Kevlar and takes the win versus Dick as well. So Chris really been getting his vengeance right now on Stacey as Mousesports are going to go fast through this smoke. Dangerous decision on the anti-eco, and Dick, well, he gets his revenge for now at least. Robson walks it gone down. The lobby crunches in for Renegades and they find a man advantage.
And these rounds can spiral out of control. Everyone has armor here for the side of Renegades. And so every kill they've got is a weapon gain. This little militia, this little insurgency of Aussie forces have put together a bit of investment, but they've already lost Malta there. The first man in, Frozen taps him down and makes it look a little too easy. He's going to fall off. Back towards the ramp room. Now, that bomb isn't actually planted for ramp, and that's where both of these players reside. Thankfully, there's no kit on the Renegade side, and so they can keep these two players back at range. Sicko's going to try and get on that bomb, and this is how it can go wrong. Inns is blind. Frozen's got to head in. Sicko's sticking it. Oh, he's missed the spray. It might be the full 10-second stick, but finally the kill comes in. It's down to the wire. Oh, I got a little bit worried there. I did get a little bit worried, I'll be honest. Mousesports just about able to hold on to that one. As they lock in that 11th round, they find the conversion. There must be a bit of temptation, though, if you're Renegades, to consider maybe going for another force. It's not an idea I love, but you could understand why they could be tempted, right? You get every kill in that round there. You know that the money for Mousesports isn't going to be fantastic. I just think at 11-6, you don't want to be in that situation, right, where you're having to take an eco if you give up that round. So instead, they try and throw in a little bit of a gimmick here. They stack all 5 players up on the rafters, and the Aussies will be looking down, peering into this bomb site from above, and oh my goodness, it's a shooting gallery. Oh, clay pigeons, but the clay pigeons are fighting back in this one. Finally, the kills come in for Mouse, but at heavy cost once again, 3 players getting removed.
I love how every time we get camera shots from Mousesports after a round ends, it's just like someone sighing with relief, like, oh, thank God we closed that out, because these rounds are getting hairy, Harry, as they often do on the T side of Nuke, but god damn, coming down to the wire once again. That was full USPs with I think a P250, and Mousesports only have 2 players surviving, so dangerous, but they get it done, and that's going to be their 12th taken on this T side. AWP is out for Sicko. We've got all the trimmings here for Renegades as they show their first full buy of the defense here on Nuke, but it's got to come up top trumps, otherwise Mousesports might just run away with this map.
That's the thing, though. You know, Carrigan coming into this team, one of the little I guess like it's a tradition, but it's more of a negative thing. One of like the superstitions around this man is that a lot of the teams he's been on have historically had problems closing out games, right? We all remember FaZe versus Cloud9 at the major. We all remember it. We were all there in some way, shape or form. And here's the thing, it does feel like Mousesports, that's a mentality that a few of them have gotten into now. And you're bang on, you bring up how at the end of the camera shots, everyone's sighing with relief. I want to see this Mousesports squad pumped up. I want to see them believing. You've got 5 incredibly talented players here, and they definitely have the ability. I don't like seeing those sighs of relief. And already in this round, Frozen's been removed. Man advantage taken for Renegades nice and early. Now, they have gotten 2 players down through Secret, one of those being the bomb here on Woxic. And he's going to get caught with a nade out. As well as that, the bomb has now been spotted here for the Renegade side.
Yeah, very low HP for Woxic. It's a bit of a problem, and Renegades can afford to fall back with the time in their favor, 30 seconds. And Mousesports are pretty much committed to this lower side, but they still have 2 players in lobby. That's going to make things hard, but the vent dive, they're going back up towards A. This could be genius. It could be a mess. And Malta's going to spray them down with Inns as well. That bomb getting dropped in the open. Carrigan, 1-on-5. It's all about damage. It's all about taking guns out of the hands of Renegades, but that looks like an impossibility at this point. They're going to finish them off with a pistol. Inns, great round from him on that top hut position. And Renegades, not only do they take a crucial 7th round on their CT side, they're first in the half, but they take it flawlessly as well. That's going to give them money moving forward, money that Mousesports don't have.
Yeah, that's where these last two anti-eco rounds for Mouse being so close, you know, only having, 0 players survive in one of the rounds and then 2 in the round after that. The money is just not there over on this T side. And so this can be Renegades given an olive branch back into this game. As long as they're able to find this conversion versus the attempted force buy from Mouse Sports. Now, a tactical timeout called in. Bit of time for Regin to weigh in on the situation here. But he doesn't exactly have a lot to work with.
Yeah, he's got bigger things on his mind, Harry. It's his birthday right now. Let's get a happy birthday going for Regin, the coach of Mouse Sports. That's always nice to see. But, you know, got to work hard and play hard on your birthday. No breaks here in the esports realm. This would be the perfect round to go for a fast ramp play for Mouse Sports. Limited utility, couple of pistols. You got a scout and Woxic, and Chris J's on a solo Krieg. But I mean, this man has been unstoppable all game long. 22 kills and 10 deaths, top of the server, and least deaths as well, which is always impressive. Woxic is going to work yard. Mouse Sports don't have the smokes to throw in a wall though, and that is being covered by Csgo back at CT. Dex has even gone down from ramp towards B, and we might see him rotate up and play the secret position, try and help out, but he actually doubles back and will stay towards the ramp just in case. Patient stuff for Renegades, not wanting to be the ones to make the first move / mistake. Csgo will get rid of that AWP outside, or the scout rather, and Inns getting Rops through the door as well. So 5 on 3, we're really just relying on Chris at this point as Carrigan's being picked up as well. That scout finding nothing here for Mouse Sports in this round, and Frozen coming to reunite with his teammate, grab that bomb, but really Mouse Sports have nothing to show for this force.
Yeah, they're hoping they can find something. I mean, Renegades, if they can grab another flawless round here, they're going to be so happy with that. Sure, they lose one, but no more damage comes through from the Mouse Sports squad. So once again, it's back to the drawing board, back to the eco here now. Finally just going to have to take one of them over on the Mouse side of things. And a chance for Renegades to keep building up on this money. And this is what gets so worrying. They take that first rifle round flawlessly. They beat the force spy here with 4 players alive. That's 9 out of a potential 10 across the last 2 rounds staying alive over on the Renegades side. And this means for Mouse Sports now, it's going to start to feel like a bit of a grind. You're no longer in this situation where you can put 1 round on the board, reset your opponent's economy, you stop things like this AWP coming through. That's not the case anymore. That's not a worry any longer for Renegades. And that means, Mouse, they've really got to brawl, they've really got to scrap their way to a victory here in this map. Renegades have poised themselves well if they do want to pick this one up. It is their map pick, so they're hoping to do exactly that. A 9th round now locked in, 3 between them and Mouse Sports.
In the last 3 rounds, Renegades have only lost 1 player, Harry. So just to add to what you're saying in terms of setting themselves up for success, this is more than good for Renegades right now. Even though they are down by 3 rounds, that can close very quickly on the CT side of Nuke. Mouse Sports are going to have to come in with some big plays here in number 22 as they come in with the AKs, no Kriegs, no AWPs, and a fast play outside, but it's met with a match from Renegades. Sicko's playing behind the red box. That's Smoke letting Renegades cross without getting spotted. Dex is in a similar situation. He's found a frag as well. So desperation ensuing for Mouse Sports as they look to get out of this precarious position. Dexter making noise, and he's going to get heard. Chris will find him. That AWP has gone down towards Secret, so Sicko does at least have B covered, and he's going to move into position to try and find Chris. He cannot for the time being. Rops, meanwhile, in the lobby, holding off against Dick Stacey, who's killed his teammate. And right now, Mouse Sports are just hoping that Renegades get them a kill back into this round. Rops might have to go hunting here on ramp.
Yeah, and it's all about whether or not he's going to check this close left angle. Dick Stacey's already had a kill down towards ramp from. And so Mouse, they just decide to group back up here in the lobby. They're going to try and play the numbers game as best they can. 2 heads in this situation, almost definitely better than 1. Dick Stacey Man, he knows all about heads here at ramp. He's going to try and tap him down.
Oh, the timing.
Just missed the timing on that one. And Chris J, double kill now, looking to secure this B bomb site. Missed shot from Csgo has given some room and allowed that bomb plant to come in. Mouse, there's still a chance to recover this round, and some good utility usage has kept that AWP at bay. Chris J continuing to find success. Rops tries to swing on in, but it's all on Chris, and he's got to ace this if Mouse Sports want to lock in this round. Chris J brought down by Csgo, and in spite his best efforts, in spite of those 4 kills coming in, it's just not enough for Mouse. It's not enough to find them around.
I've got to wonder, did he know the bomb was planted in that position? He might have. I might just be assuming, but really trying to force that gunfight. Confident stuff from Chris is what you like to see, but he gives away the chance to Csgo on that AWP. If he hit behind those doors, if he plays the bomb, there's a chance to him at closing out the round. Instead, he gets blown to pieces. And such a nice try from Chris, but unfortunately it's not enough. And at this point, if you're Mouse Sports, you can't always just rely on one man getting an ace to pick up a T-side round, although if he can do it, that's great. But right now, Renegades are finding multiple rounds in a row. That's 4 on this CT side. Mouse Sports with a half by going for this fast B play. No gap in the smoke. Csgo cannot exploit this utility from Mouse Sports, and they will be able to at least get down into secret. Further than that, easier said than done, but they're just going to run through the smoke. Carrigan landing on the ground and landing the headshot to Dexter. That's another gun added to the arsenal of Mouse Sports.
And it's little cheesy moments like that we often see spur on this Mouse Sports squad. It's when they get away with little bits of trickery like this. Carrigan, my God, 3 kills. Carrigan's got the B bomb site. He'll get that bomb down. The CZ king of Mouse Sports might have just made this round so. It's only Csgo left, and he wants to hold on to the AWP. He wants to try and stay alive. And Carrigan, this is a man who I want to see build up a bit more confidence, have a bit more faith. And he's smiling now. He had one on his face. There we go. That's that little charming Carrigan smile that we all know and love. A 13th round for Mouse. They finally break the streak of Renegades. And it's so important that they're able to do it there, because that money situation that we were on about, right? That previous round, coming down to a 1v1 on the back of Chris J, forcing so many reinvestments there up against that partial investment of Mouse, and then you find success, you don't let them hold on to the AWP, and so as a result, they've had to throw another reinvestment in here into this one, and so finally Mouse are in a position where they can realistically break this CT side economy, and at a 13-10 scoreline, that in and of itself can win you this game.
I mean, that's a key swing round, Harry. Look at the same story in the first half, right? Mouse Sports winning that crucial eco down on B with Chris J on the USP, and that just made them close out that first half in dominant fashion, or in favorable fashion at least. Well, they hadn't put a rifle round on this T side, but they win their first fast B play with pistols. That can really crush a team like Renegades right here, right now, and they're going to have to look to try and exploit the gaps of Mouse Sports. They've hit the perfect timing out through ramp, and they might find Chris in the lobby. He has the bomb. 2 players here for Mouse Sports, a third coming in from the spawn late. That's Woxic. Renegades, do they get to the party early before Woxic does? No, Csgo is ready on the angle, and Dick Stacey's going to bail as well. Renegades have put this back into a 4-on-4. They lost